What is up, guys? Today we're inside of Plants vs. Zombies 1, and today I'm going to help you guys beat Zombotany 2, because it's one of the harder minigames in my opinions. I would say that the Zombotany 2, the Bobsled, Bonanza, and the Zombie Nimble, Zombie Quick are definitely the three hardest minigames in this. We're just going to hop right into it. Zombotany 2, so as you can see we have Gatling peas, pea shooters, tall nuts, walnuts, jalapenos, and squash. So yeah, we have to deal with this. Now I will say that you do have to use one special plant for this, which is the cattail, because the cattail is basically just going to carry you this through this entire level. So you're going to really need it. But you're going to need the cattail, the lily pad, the sunflower, obviously. And then we just need insta-kill plants. So we're going to take the potato mine, the squash, the jalapeno we don't really need, but you can take it anyway, so we're going to do that. Then we need the tall nuts, and then you can also bring the spikeweed. I'm just making sure to see if I forgot anything, which I don't think that I did, so we should be pretty good. Now you might be wondering, how is this going to work if we only have cattails to attack and spikeweeds, but spikeweeds really aren't going to do anything. And it's because we're kind of just going to let these grass rows die. We're not really going to be protecting them. We're just going to have a bunch of cattails, and we're just going to hope that they are able to do it. Now, we're going to have to hope that the first pea shooter zombie spawns in a row without our sunflowers, which luckily this time it did. If it doesn't, then you can just keep restarting the level until it finally does. But what we're going to do is we're just going to place a potato mine down there because that can't get hit. So we are all good with that. And then we're just going to place down some sunflowers here and then start saving up for cattail afterwards. So he's getting kind of close. His friend's probably going to come out. This is where, unfortunately, we got a little bit unlucky. So we're just going to place a squash here so that way we don't lose our cattail. And then, unfortunately, it spawned up there again. So we're just going to have to lose that sunflower. But now he is dead, so that is good. And we can almost get our first cattail. We just need 100 more sun. Now we only need 75 more sun. So we're doing pretty good. We only need 25 more sun now, and there we go. So now we have our first cattail, and obviously they can hit anything on the board, which is why we're using them. So yeah, it's pretty useful. We got kind of terrible luck here. We're just going to see what he targets, and then we're just going to target the opposite thing of the cattail with the squash. And unfortunately, we're getting really bad RNG right now, which is not very good, but we're just going to deal with it. I was going to place a potato mine down there, but then I realized we have cattail, we don't need it. So for now, we're kind of just going to try to get as many cattails as we possibly can. Because that's what we're going to need. But we're going to also place a lily pad up here and up here. So that way, when the dolphin zombies come, we'll be okay with our tall nuts and just to protect us in general. Here comes the pool zombies. This is why we have the tall nuts, so that way we can protect our cattails. Hopefully this one won't die, but last time it probably did, if I remember correctly, and yep, it's definitely going to die now. So that's a little bit unfortunate. There we go. We're just going to kill him real quick, just that way our other cattail doesn't have to bother with doing it. Which is why we probably should have gotten our tall nut before we placed our cattail, but it's okay. You learn from your mistakes. So we're just going to do that next time, and hope that they don't kill too many of our sunflowers. We only have 3 sunflowers right now, and 2 of them are in the pool lane, which is where they're not going to really be able to do anything. So that's not really that good. Now this is where things are going to get a little bit tricky, because we only have 1 cattail, and we have a huge wave of zombies that are approaching. So we're going to just have to try to get our next cattail as fast as possible. We only need 25 more sun. So we should be good. Here's our first Gatling pea. Actually, nope, our first 2 Gatling peas. So they spawn in rows with absolutely nothing inside of them. That's pretty good. All we want the cattails to target right now are the pool lanes, because then they don't have any risk of dying. And then they can just target the Gatling peas and then hopefully up there. Unfortunately, they're not really doing that. They're just targeting up here and then down here. And then lastly, they're targeting here. So that's a little bit annoying. but it should be okay. We're going to place a tall nut right here, I'm gonna say, so that way we can get some more sunflowers behind it, and then we're going to be able to get our cattails a little bit faster. Now we have our first squash zombie right here. We're just going to squash the squash in just a moment. The cattails are working on that pea shooter guy. He's dead. Never mind, we don't even have to squash the squash. The squash just died by itself. But yeah, we have a row of 4 sunflowers here, and so far we're still good because the tall nut is protecting them. We're just gonna have to hope that a squash guy just doesn't come over here. Same thing with the jalapeno guy. We don't want them coming over here. So far we've surprisingly not lost any of our lawnmowers, which is good because we're probably going to need them later on. Last time when I first did this strategy, we barely survived. We're just gonna get another cattail right there. And there's a jalapeno guy right as I'm speaking. Unfortunately, he's in the 3rd worst lane, so we're just gonna squash him right there. The only lanes that we really don't want him going into are either of these 2 lanes, especially this lane right now, because this one only has 1 cattail and this one has 2. Otherwise, if they go here, here, or here, I'm honestly fine with it, and I'm not even going to try to kill it. We seem to be doing good right now, but we're gonna have to see if that lasts. So you just have to keep checking what zombies are coming out. For the most part, you're only going to have pea shooters and walnuts right now, mainly just the pea shooters. Every so often you'll have Gatling peas, squash, and jalapenos, and you're just gonna have to keep track of that every single time. But we're just going to keep placing down cattails again so we can do even more damage even faster for this next wave that we're about to get into. So now what we have here is we have 1 squash zombie right there, and then we have another jalapeno zombie right there. Again, they're in the lanes that we don't really care about. As long as we take down that squash, since he's kind of faster, then we should be okay. And the jalapeno is probably going to blow up if we don't kill it fast enough, but again, there's nothing there, so we don't really care about it. We're on the 2nd wave now, and if you want, you can start placing like potato mines on all the rows. I'm going to start doing that because we have a bunch of money. But yeah, we have another squash right there. They're targeting it. I don't really need them to target it though. You just always want to have your lily pad and your squash off cooldown, mainly your squash, if possible, just in case a jalapeno or squash zombie comes into the pool lanes, because you really have to kill them if they go into those lanes. Same thing with the jalapeno if possible. But as of right now, we're doing pretty good. We have a Gatling pea over here, but it's not going to matter because there's nothing for him to destroy. So yeah, we're pretty much just really beating the level not a way that you're supposed to. You're supposed to have like plants everywhere. We're just going to repair that tall nut real quick. But yeah, so pretty much all of their zombies are useless now because the squash, the jalapeno, and the Gatling pea would be super overpowered. This is one of the times that we're going to want to use the squash because he's going to be a little bit annoying. We could have probably just used a spikeweed or a sunflower as bait, which I just realized, but we don't have another wave coming up as of right now, so we should be okay. And now here is our first tall nut. He's going to take a lot longer to kill, which is a good thing that he's slow. So we're going to have plenty of time. As you can see, all 6 of them are targeting him, and he's just going to get shredded. He's already in his 2nd stage. And now he's on his 3rd stage, and then we have a jalapeno and a squash, but it's not going to matter. The squash is just going to die instantly, and then the jalapeno is really just going to blow up a potato mine. I don't really care about that potato mine, to be honest, if he even gets to blow up. Nope, he didn't get to blow up. Now we have a small problem right here, which is where the Gatling pea spawns in the pool. I don't know how he's shooting above where he's supposed to be shooting, but okay, we're just gonna go with it. But yeah, this is a small problem. It's not a huge problem. You still shouldn't use insta-kill plants for it. You're just going to want to repair the tall nuts if necessary. As you can see, this one got a little bit cracked. We're not going to repair them at all until they get into their final stage before death. And then that's when we're going to repair them, obviously. So, like, if they're at this stage, then we're fine. If they're at that stage, we're also still fine. However, if they get to that stage, then that's when you want to repair them. Because they won't sustain much more damage, and it's going to be really bad later on. So I could have been wrong about the dolphin zombies. I thought that there were dolphin-ish zombies in here. I don't know. I'm just yeah. I'm just making up stuff, it appears. But that's a good thing, because we don't like dolphin zombies. So we have a squash zombie. He's not really going to do anything down there. We have a Gatling P. He's going to do absolutely nothing over there. And then we have a tall nut in the middle. The tall nut's really the only concern of ours, but now that he's the only one left, he's just going to get beamed. So that's pretty nice. We're going to destroy that tall nut and then place a new tall. And this is where catastrophes happen. We have a jalapeno zombie in the pool. You just want to place a lily pad and then put a squash on it, and then they killed it before the squash was gonna squash it. But that just works out better, actually. However, I've now wasted a squash, so that's a little bit disappointing. But as I was saying, we're now just going to turn that tall nut into a cattail instead. You could have done that a longer time ago, but I'm just getting to it now. So it's okay if you just got to it now. This tall nut, depending on how fast our cattail recharges, and never mind. I was gonna say, depending on how fast our cattail recharges, we may or may not want to repair that. But at this point, we don't really need to repair it, because there's nothing in the world. I'm still gonna place a new one, just that way, even if the game like bugs out, then they still have a little bit of defense. Even though that's not going to happen, but just in case it did. So now we have our 8 cattails that are just going to fire down at this one tall nut zombie, and he's almost dead. There he is. Again, this is the stage where you'd want to repair your tall nuts, and there we go. We've defeated Zombotany 2. And that is going to be it for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, or you want to see some more Plants vs. Zombies, and I'm going to make some more strategies to how to beat this and how to beat the other mini games without using the cattail. Maybe just using like a different special plant, or just not using special plants at all. But yeah, that is going to be it. If you enjoyed or this helped you out, then make sure to subscribe. If you guys want to, you don't have to. And everybody, peace out.